There's two reasons why you're listening to this today. One, you know me and support me. Or two, you're a nosy old shy. Either way, I'm happy to have you. Listen to episode 4 of the Unedited podcast.
Do you think you can handle it? Do you think you could? Do you think you could handle it? Do you think you could?
So first of all, I would like to welcome you all back and say thank you very, very much for everybody that has listened on the past couple of episodes. If this is your first one, you are very welcome. But I appreciate the love and I am so excited. Today I'm going to share another friend with you, and this one is very, very special to me. She's been many different friends to me throughout the years, but the one that she is today is the best yet. And just to explain, when we were kids, she was very timid and quiet. And I've watched her evolve and grow into this confident character that has had an awakening, really. I can't wait to have a conversation and let you see what I see. Dominiquea Kearns, how are you?
I'm good, Jessica. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. Now, if anybody listened to episode 1 and maybe 2, they would have heard me plug it a couple of times as Skin Spirit.
Yes.
The woman who I done all my EFT with, but you're not Skin Spirit anymore. You've recently evolved your brand into
Divine Discovery.
That's right.
Yeah. It was unexpected. So I decided to rebrand because I was launching a new program, and I do channeled writing. So it's automatic writing where I connect to my guides and I just free flow whatever is coming through me. So it was what my guides was telling me was before I released this program that I have to rebrand, that I have to become more of a premium brand. So it just kind of happened out of the blue. Like it wasn't intending to happen. Just kind of happened within a few days, and I just went with it.
Amazing. So just to let everybody know, what is your work, or is work even the right word? What does Dominiquea Kearns do?
So I suppose what I do is I am a healer and a medium, but for me, when I think of what I actually do, they're just a part of me. But I feel like now I actually help empower people and help them see who they truly are. So that's my work. That's what I hope to do for the future, like to help people see themselves for who they truly are, because we're all amazing and we just don't realise that we have all these insecurities from growing up, from our past, like from comparing ourselves to each other. But really, like, we're all unbelievable and we're all unstoppable, and I just want to show people that, and just show them that they are unstoppable, that they can have the life that they want and nothing stands in their way if they're ready to kind of like
I love it.
Yeah, if they're kind of like ready to, where the healing part comes in is like when we heal, we're kind of taking a look at ourselves and developing a stronger relationship with ourselves. So we're learning why we behave certain ways that we behave, and we're able to change it, and like grow this amazing relationship with ourselves and grow confident, and then we start to feel, oh, I can do this, I can do whatever I want.
When you say healing, what do you necessarily mean by that?
So I'm a spiritual healer. So I either do Reiki or EFT. So everything in this planet is energy. So with Reiki, if you receive a Reiki treatment, all you are doing is lying down, and then I'm the practitioner. I just channel the universal life force energy through you. So if there's any blocks or stagnant energy due to any past experiences with Reiki, it just flushes it out. So you don't necessarily need to know what you're healing with Reiki. Reiki just goes where it needs to. With EFT, it's different. It's still an energy healing treatment, but you're working with the subconscious mind, and that's where we store our limits and beliefs, our patterns, our behaviours. And limiting beliefs, with EFT, you find out the root cause of these limiting beliefs or behaviours. And we start tapping on meridian lines to remove the emotional block.
And many times would you recommend someone get EFT? Like, I've had it before, as I mentioned before, for a particular trauma. And then I had it just for some future focus and a bit of clarity. Like, how often would you say someone would need to get it? Or
So with EFT, it's recommended at the start just 3 sessions. And then I would say if you're coming up to anything, like say in a couple of months, if you feel a bit overwhelmed or you feel a bit blocked or something like that, maybe go back for another session if you feel that EFT has helped you. But it's not something that you necessarily have to be doing like every month or anything like that.
Yeah, it's kind of you're taught to look at life really in a different way, aren't you? So the tools that you get from your 3 initial sessions, you kind of take them with you.
Yeah.
I find in your everyday life.
Yeah, you can. So when like somebody comes to me, like you are taught EFT and it, like you've obviously had EFT, you'd notice it'd be the same questions that you're being asked. So when you finish your EFT sessions, they're just questions that you can ask yourself. So that is a tool that you have in your bag now to help yourself when, if you do come up across anything that's kind of like making you feel a bit like anxious or worried. Well, I loved what you said in the first episode where EFT is, what did you say? It's getting to know yourself better. Was it along the lines of that?
Yeah, that it was, it really is just building a relationship with yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the most standout things for me. I'm a huge advocate for EFT. I absolutely adore it as a treatment. It'll never be something I don't do. I find just a powerful aspect of reflection that you learn from having your sessions of EFT, like how you can look back and reward your past self. And recently now connecting with me future self and kind of deciding what I want to do. I just absolutely love it.
Yeah, because I think what happens in our life, and we experience many things, good or bad, but it's always right. How do I get over this? The next one. But we're not stopping to acknowledge what we've done or where we've come or what we've experienced. And that's what EFT does. It makes you acknowledge yourself. Because, for example, you're my friend. So if I do anything good, you're like saying, oh my God, amazing, well done.
Yeah.
But as a person, you're just like, on to the next one, on to the next one. How can I get higher? How can I achieve more? You're not
taking that time.
Yeah, and that's what EFT does. It helps you acknowledge yourself.
While we're on that subject, let's reflect back on your past self for a second and how you got here, just for a minute. Just on how you found yourself here. So by healing yourself and doing Reiki, although it enlightened and opened up all of your intuition that we will discuss, but you using all of those treatments and healing all of them has gotten you to a point where you're much more confident, you're more sure of yourself. And that's on my observation. Looking at you now, you just seem like I sit easier with you now because I feel like you're sitting with yourself better.
Yeah.
You know, like what has that been like, that whole sort of evolution of Dominiquea?
It's been hard, I'm not going to lie. Like it's not easy, like kind of taking the time for yourself and building that relationship with yourself. But it's been amazing. Yeah. Like I look at myself, like even recently, like in the last 2 weeks, I've done a lot more in our work and stuff like that. And like it's so funny, like I drank a cup, I was drinking cacao last week and I just put on some music and I was like dancing and crying at the same, but crying from like the most loving place because I was looking at all versions of myself. I was dancing in a circle with all these versions and aspects of me and just like thanking them and just
so proud of
them, like, and so proud of me and how far I'm after coming, like, because you've known me since I've been a young child. I would have never ever imagined that I could do anything like this. Like I was very, very shy. I couldn't talk. Like if you had told me then that I'd be doing this, I would have been like, no, not a chance.
Jesus, if you'd have told me that you'd be doing this now, I'd have been like, what?
Not a chance.
Oh, you didn't even speak. I remember, and when you think about it, like kids are so cruel. But I remember one thing we used to always be like, we'd be like, shut up, Dama, because you didn't speak. It was like nearly like a running joke.
Yeah.
That you just didn't talk. And I remember saying to you one time, how did you even manage to hold on to a friendship? Because you barely spoke. But I suppose that kind of leads on to another point, doesn't it? That you don't actually, it's about connection, isn't it? What you have with people.
Yeah, it's connection. It's the energy you fall in love with. Like you fall in love with people just because who they are, not the words that they say.
Absolutely, because one of the things, even though, I would have been like, oh my God, there's not a hope in hell that that's what she'd be doing, or anybody for that matter. I don't think you're that open when you're a teenager. But you did always have a sense of purity to you. and you are probably one of the most trustworthy people, and still are, that I had in my life. Like, I knew that whatever I would tell you, you would keep sacred, and there was just a true honesty to you. Like, you are definitely one of my nanny's favourites, without a doubt, and that says a lot.
It does.
But yeah, so it is, like, I suppose you've always been you. It's just now
I actually embrace me.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's so exciting to watch, I have to say. But now you're getting ready to embrace others.
Yes.
And allow them to open up their intuition and their psyche. Is that the right thing?
No. So what it is, I have this program launching in June. So it's called Seek the Light Within. It's a soul ascension activation program. So it's a 4-month program. And basically I'm going to be supporting these people on their healing journey. But like going really, really in depth. So using all the tools I have over the years, over the last 4 years that I have cultivated, and helping them tap into their shadow side. So when I say shadow side, we both have a light and shadow side, and we want to focus on the light parts, but it's actually the healing is in the shadow side. So I'll say, for example, if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, I'll relate it back to me. So my shadow side would have been like, I hated myself because I didn't speak. I have got to love that version of me, and now what she has given me, I use as my superpower. Like, I'm talking now.
Yeah.
Then it was definitely something I hated, but now it's actually my superpower, because I'm able to pass on those experiences that I have had onto other people, and I can fully support them on their journey. So I want, in this 4-month program, I'm going to be helping them develop a stronger relationship with themselves. When we develop a stronger relationship with ourselves, we have more trust for ourselves. When you trust yourself, that's your intuition. And then you are able to see your path ahead clearer. So your purpose becomes clearer.
That sounds amazing.
It is amazing.
That's absolutely amazing. And so what do you do for yourself every day? Like, because you are a medium as well.
Yes.
And we've had sessions together before. So the people here on this earth at this moment are not the only ones that you tend to have conversations with. So how does, like, explain that? Like, how does one block themselves off from, like, are you walking down the road hearing loads of things? Or?
So I need, this is actually something that's a good question, because when you think of a medium, right, people think they walk into a room, they see a load of dead people, hear a load of dead people. Now everyone's business.
Now, let's be clear, I only asked for you to join me on this podcast today. I don't want any unexpected visitors. So, sorry, go on.
No, you're grand. So, like, there is mediums who would see people like the way I see you, but the majority of us don't. And I hear in my voice. Yeah. So I could be just making these things up, to be honest.
Well, I hope not. No. I invested a lot.
Could be just going mad.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
So me personally, I am what, like, if I'm going on a walk or anything, like, I am being present and stuff like that, but I am talking to me guides.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what? Like, can you just give me advice and stuff like that? Yeah. So it is like, I'm having a conversation with my friends.
Yeah, but it's like the equivalent. Is it like the equivalent of the way people would ask the universe? You know, to show them signs. It's kind of just.
It's exactly.
Yeah. Or in some religions, they would pray to their God, or you know, you're just looking for guidance, really, aren't you?
Yeah, it's just guidance. So I suppose for me, I probably don't shut myself off, because I enjoy it, and it is like, I know it's my job, but it's my way of living. Like, so I do connect daily, but it has helped me. So it has helped my confidence, and it has helped me trust my path. So that's why I connect every day. But I'm not necessarily going around like seeing dead people or speaking to dead people every 2 minutes.
And what do you do, like, in terms of, like, how do you start your day every morning? Is there a ritual that you follow?
Yeah, so wake up in the morning and I give gratitude, that I say thank you for this day.
Yeah.
And then I do grounding. So it's grounding me energy. So once I get up out of my bed, I place my feet on the ground, and I just kind of like connect. I suppose it's connecting, and like bring like the life force energy throughout my body, and then like ground me energy into the earth. And then I will usually, might be straight away, could do a workout first, but I make sure I meditate daily and do a bit of channeled writing. So there are things that
So you put a lot of work into
I
yourself.
do.
Like, I know you enjoy it, so work is probably not the right word to say, but you put a lot into yourself.
Oh, I do. Yeah. I do. Like, I commit to myself.
Yeah.
I commit time to myself. I commit time to my daily practices. Because if I didn't do this, then like my head would be gone.
Yeah.
And this is actually really good point that I haven't always had a positive mindset. I have, as you said, I've been very anxious. I went through depression for years. Very hard on myself, played that victim mentality, poor me, when that's not true. So I've used this work to help with my mind and my mindset and change the way I view the world and myself.
Yeah. It's mad when I'm sitting here talking, having this conversation to you. I can't even describe the feelings that I have, because throughout all the years of our friendship, I've never had like the conversations that we have now and the conversations that we're having now. Like, to see you so confident within yourself, speaking about yourself so clearly, about everything that you do for yourself, it's really, really inspiring. Honestly, it gives me hope for myself and others that I have around me, that if you put the work in and you just listen to your own self and your own intuition, that nothing is impossible. So really, really well done. I know I'm saying this right in the middle, but I have to say I'm really enjoying this chat.
Thank you. But so coming to intuition, like, everybody has intuition. Everyone has strong intuition. It's just we don't believe
like your gut,
Yeah, it's your gut, that gut feeling, oh, I know this is right, or I know this is wrong. But what people tend to do, they go outside and they ask, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? They're not trusting themselves, and no one knows what's right for you. Only you do. So that's when you should always trust that gut feeling.
Yeah.
Like, no matter what.
Yeah.
Because you know what's best for you. Like I can't tell you, for example, if you came and you had EFT off me, well, I just assisted in your journey, but who told you what to do? It was you.
Yeah.
So it always comes back to us. We know what's best for us, and if you do put the work in, you will get what you want.
So I'm all about, at the minute, making the right choices, and I mean, there's always times when I'm kind of nearly realising some of the things recently. I'm like, do you know what, actually that's not quite good for me, and I prefer to do this. And I suppose it's as you evolve and you grow older and your life changes. But you made the choice, when was it, last year, to be alcohol free.
Yeah.
And I don't think sobriety or being sober is the right word for it, because you've never, it's not as if alcohol has ever been a necessary problem. It's not it's just not something that you enjoy.
No, it's not. So I suppose as a teenager, you just used to drink to fit in, like we all did back then. And then I found, for years, I was going out drinking, trying to avoid, going out partying, trying to avoid who I was and sitting with myself. And then obviously I went on this journey, and the alcohol just kind of was it made me feel shite when I didn't feel shite. I'd be feeling sorry for myself and looking at my life and thinking, oh my God, I need to do this, I need to do that. When that wasn't the actual case. So I made, actually, I never told anyone this, but the Christmas 2020, going into January 2021, I was thinking to myself, I'd love to give alcohol up for a year. I was I just wanted to see how my life would change and how it would affect, but I wasn't obviously ready at the time. And then we would start coming into out of lockdown, and we started obviously going out a bit more. And I'd be sitting drinking, and I'd be sober, but it'd be I'd be kind of half outside my body. I know that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
I think it was because of all the work I done. It was I was half outside my
you're
body.
Very aware of what you're doing.
Yeah, it was half outside my body. And then for a week or so, I'd be feeling shy. I'd be absolutely exhausted. The fear would be in, and then I was just I can't get ahead. I can't have the life that I want if I am going to continue to do this. And it wasn't even something I was enjoying.
Yeah,
I was going out for the sake of it, because I thought that's what you have to do. You have to go out, and there's something wrong with you if you don't drink.
Yeah.
They're the thoughts that ran through my mind for a couple of months, and then I think it was last June. It's very close to a year. I was just no. That's it. I'm done, and I'm delighted. I haven't looked back. I haven't even thought. It's never to say I never ever drink again, because I don't know. I don't.
Yeah, and look, you don't need to restrict yourself. No, you're just choosing to do what makes you happy, and going out drinking wasn't making you happy.
No, it was definitely not. I feel like I was doing it for other people, even though other people wouldn't care whether I was doing it or not. I feel like,
but it is the thing, isn't it? Like, and you often go into an environment like, have a drink or just have one, or you know.
And the first night I actually went out without drinking with yous, I was drinking an alcoholic cocktail, so it looks like I'm drinking something. So there was a fella and he said, what is that? And I was like, it's non-alcoholic. And he started saying, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you drinking? And that actually really, because it was my first night out and it was only something I started to, I got real upset about it when I went home, and I was like, what is wrong with me? Why do I have to be different again? But there's nothing wrong with you if you don't want to drink.
No, yeah. But you know what? You are going through the transition of not drinking as well. And it was kind of like, it was only something you were learning. So you weren't exactly going with it smoothly. Like, you would come out and you'd be like, no, I'm not drinking. Or did they do alcoholic free cocktails? Or it was very kind of like, it was, you know what I'm trying to say? It wasn't like, it's not the way now.
No.
Like, you don't have to explain yourself that you're not drinking.
Yeah.
Whereas at the time, I think in the early times, you did kind of feel like you were justifying why you weren't drinking, which is
I definitely,
quite sad, because that's what other people are putting
it's
on
society,
you.
like putting that on you. And but I'm a lot more like, I don't drink and I don't care who says what. Yeah. My business.
Yeah. And if you do drink,
Yeah, like it's everyone's. It's your personal choice what you choose to do with yourself.
Do you know what as well? I think when you're labelling yourself as well, you're kind of leaving yourself out. Now, people should just learn how to shut them out, but in actual fact, I'm even guilty of it, and it's just a normal reaction. You're making conversation with people. Like, I was chatting to someone who had kind of like said that they didn't drink anymore and whatever, and spoke to them before, and they said they didn't drink, and then they mentioned something like to let me know that they would be having a drink on this night, and I was like, I thought you didn't drink. Yeah. You know, and you're kind of like, I realise exactly what I did, but I also realise how they kind of set that up for themselves. Yeah. You know, whereas like, just do you.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't have to tell people if you're not drinking or you are drinking. Like, do what you want to do and what you feel comfortable to do, but you don't owe anyone an explanation.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question? So, you're very
Ask me a few.
Lovely. So, you're very open about talking about, like, you are looking for love and you're hoping to find a partner and a life partner, like anybody. But I mean, what's it like living a spiritual life now? Because it's different than looking for love before. I mean, this time you're going out on a date with somebody, and how do you describe, like, your job? Like, oh my God, you must be fighting off a few more, like.
Well, to be honest, I haven't been on a date since I realised everything, like, do you know what I mean? So I don't know.
That's another podcast.
That is another podcast.
Yeah. But when you think, even when you just think about it for a second, you're like, you go out and you're like,
yeah, what do you do? I'm to talk to dead people.
Oh God. I definitely believe there's someone out there for everyone in any way, and I know there's the right person out there for you, but I'm very, very interested to watch how this comes, because I've never had a friend who's a medium before.
Me either.
No. So God only knows what you will, or whoever you're listening to, your guides only know who you're gonna bring home. So like, opening up today, sitting here having this chat with me, anybody who's listening, what do you kind of hope that they take from it, from listening to your story?
That you can do wherever they want, that they're unstoppable. And that life that they dream of, that they can have no matter what. That's just what I want to spread to the world.
Yeah. And what would you say to somebody who's sitting there that can't, you're saying that life that they dream of, but we've all been in a place where you're sitting there and you're like, what is my dreams? What do I want out of life? How do you recommend people find a little bit of clarity?
I think that they need to start taking time for themselves. Because usually what happens, whether we realise or not, we're giving our time and energy to other people, even to social media. So like that time that you have, like doing these things for other people, or like scrolling through your phone endlessly, why don't you just take the time to yourself? Just go on a walk. Just kind of sit with yourself like for an hour. Like it doesn't have to be like, oh, like 365 days, like 24 hours a day that you sit with yourself and avoid yourself from the world. That's not what I recommend doing. But take time for yourself, and the more you get to know and learn more about yourself, the more you get to realise what you actually enjoy doing.
Yeah.
And I would also be saying say no to things that you don't enjoy doing.
Yeah,
definitely.
I remember someone, I can't remember who it was one of our friends anyway, they were going through something and they were on a quest to say yes to everything. They were after reading something or watching something that was like, just, don't limit yourself to any experiences. But equally, it's just as important to say no, isn't it?
Oh yeah, 100%. Because when you say yes to somebody that you want to say no to, you're actually saying no to yourself. So you are the most important person in your life.
Yeah.
If you want to say no to someone just because you want to chill out on your own, go ahead and say it. Like, you don't need to be overly given to people. Like, I think we're so used to that in society. You have to do things for other people, for your friends, for your family, put them first, and then we neglect ourselves. And like one day we could be lying there and saying, I had all these dreams, but I decided to put other people first. Yeah.
And you're big on, so I'm saying you like to do things for your friends and family or whatever. Let's talk about finances for a second. And when you're working for yourself and you have your own business, because this is something that people struggle with all the time, and I've done so as well in the past. So you're big on people knowing their worth and charging.
Yeah.
So just, like, because some people be like, oh, I don't want to charge her because she's my friend, or I don't want. So any advice on that?
Right. So everything is energy, and it's an energy exchange. So think about like the work you do as a business owner, right? So you have to upskill. That costs money. You have to buy products. That costs money. You have to pay rent. That costs money. The energy that you give, like from your studying, that's hours of your time. That costs money. And so like, it's not just if someone goes to you like it's for 45 minutes, it's actually not just for 45 minutes. It's all that work that you have done to perfect your talent and to learn about your skill. So that all comes back to worthiness. Do you value yourself? Do you value your time? Do you value your work, your commitment? So I'm all here for like charge for what you're after putting into it. Because it's not just someone is walking in like for you having like their lips tattooed or like their eyebrows done. There's so much more behind it. So like, you need to value all that work that you're after committing to and after putting your mind to be the person like that you're actually being and providing the service that you're actually providing. So people forget that. And also you have to pay taxes, you have to pay VAT. There's so much things. So like, if you don't do that, and I've done it myself, you're actually not making any money.
Yeah. And I suppose then you can start to look around you and you can really find out who are the people that value you.
Yeah.
If they respect your work, respect your business, they're going to pay for these treatments. And anyway, so
that's where it comes to your soul clients.
Yeah.
So when you start to value yourself and value your work, your soul clients are coming in, and not the people who are coming in just for anything. Like, for example, I do healing and stuff like that. So you have people who genuinely come and think you're going to lie on the bed and heal their life. And that's not the case. They actually have to do the work. So if someone comes to me for EFT or Reiki or a reading or whatever, they're only with me for a short amount of time, but they have to go out and do the work. So I find, like, if you're undercharging your service, you're having the wrong people coming in thinking you're going to save them. And that's not true. So it all comes back to the people who are going to commit to their work or commit to their aftercare or whatever it is. It's like, once you value yourself and your work, you're attracting your soul clients who are supposed to come to you and not just anybody. So that's my advice from people. But that's about like inner work and healing stuff. Do you know what I mean? Because it's easy for me to say, just value yourself and just feel worthy. But that wasn't always the case for me. So like, it comes back to like building that relationship with yourself, finding out why you undervalue yourself, why you don't feel worthy. And once you start to learn about that and start to kind of like heal those limiting beliefs, that's when you start saying, okay, I am worthy of this price, I am worthy of this. And that's how you change it.
Yeah.
It's probably people listening to me saying like, it's easy for her to say this and whatever, but wasn't always easy for me. I used to be rattling at like when somebody would say, what's the price? Do you know what I mean?
If you don't mind.
Yeah. So I understand where people are coming from. I do.
Yeah.
But I'm after doing the work, but I want to spread that to people as well.
Very good. What's next now for Divine Discovery? You have a move there?
I have a move in June, which is next week, is it?
Yeah.
For a few weeks. Yeah, so I have a move. I have this program that I spoke about. And I'm just kind of going with the flow of it. I feel like there's so much opportunities and doors opening at the time. So I'm just going to go with the flow. Yeah.
This year you went to step outside of your comfort zone and you went travelling alone for the first time.
I did.
How was that?
Amazing. Yeah, I went...
Where'd you go?
I went to Lisbon. So if anyone is thinking of going away on their own, Lisbon is a very safe place. So I kind of...
Well, that, in her opinion, right, mind yourself.
Did you have a bad experience?
What? No, I'm just saying, you can't say it's a very safe place. Like,
I
you don't
suppose
know.
everyone, I suppose.
And I would have loved to go to Lisbon, but she told me point blank that she was going on her own.
Yeah, it was a solo trip. So even when people were inviting themselves, I was like, no, this is something I have to do alone. So
AKA me.
Yeah. No, it was really, really nice, and it came at the perfect time because before I went over, I kind of like let go of all like me skin and stuff like that, my skin side of me business, and I felt a bit lost and stuff like that. So I
used to do beauty.
I used to do beauty and stuff like that. So when I was going, I felt a bit lost. So when I went there, it was just like a breath of fresh air, and I got to like be with me thoughts and view things differently again. And just, it was very freeing as well, just being away like on your own, like without your family and friends, and just doing what you want and being in this like city that you've never been to before. It was just very, very freeing. And like I feel like I definitely want to do more solo trips.
Scared? Like I'd have been rattling.
So the only time I was scared was like when I went to the airport and I was getting a taxi. So no, a taxi to the hotel, because obviously I was in this taxi of my own in a foreign country. Yeah, you'd be sweating.
I'd be sweating. I can't even get a taxi from town.
No.
My nerves. It's terrible, really. It is terrible.
Yeah,
that's scared, but
things have taught us to be scared, you know. So that was the only time I was scared, but it was like just so easy. It was so easy. That was the only time I was scared. But once I was in the taxi, I put on my Google Maps. So I said to the man, "Now it's only 20 minutes away." So he knew I knew where I was going.
I used to get into taxis years ago, and I probably shouldn't say it because I'm letting the cat out of the bag, but go on, I will anyway. I used to be like, no one would be on the phone.
The phone be dead.
And I'd be saying, would you stop? I'm not giving you the man's ID number.
No, but
and then literally, okay, 475.
But you have to. We're women, so you have to do that, unfortunately.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. Powerful, strong, independent, unstoppable women.
Unstoppable women, yeah. And the way, and Pete, just to explain what we're doing there, the words that we say to each other are unstoppable. It's kind of something that comes from the EFT. It's like, but you don't necessarily have to do EFT to do it. But even if someone was to just think of a word, like it can be like your little word that you take with you throughout the day. Like, so my one, I'll let you know, my one is unstoppable, and I tap that into myself all the time. But you don't even have to tap. If you ever find yourself in a situation where you're feeling a little bit vulnerable or less confident, or you're worried about something, if you just think of one word that resonates with you, isn't that right?
Yeah.
Just to give yourself that little boost and remember your capabilities and who you really are, because it's all about reflection. Reflect on yourself. You are unstoppable.
We are unstoppable.
Absolutely.
Everyone is.
Love it.
Yeah. And like I love the whole thing about like just reminding yourself it's one word. You just keep repeating that over and over again, and that will help you change your mindset, change your energy, and then you're walking into a room feeling capable or worthy.
Yeah.
And valuing yourself.
Brilliant. So as I say at the end of every single podcast, I always look for an Annie mantra, because I believe that generation of people have all of those things, all of that wisdom. And it's funny because when you were talking about what your ritual that you do every day, I remember my nanny's ritual, right, every morning. She rolled herself out of bed. She'd have two mattresses, one on top of the other. And she'd roll herself to the side of bed, and she'd be there and she'd be stretching all of her body out. Big stretch. And I was saying, what are you doing? She's like, you have to move your body, Jessie. You have to get ready for the start of the day. And because of the two mattresses, our little feet, she was only 5 foot, so our little feet would be dangling outside the bed, and she jumped down bare feet on the floor, grounding herself.
Yeah.
don't think she was aware of what she was doing. I wasn't aware of what she was doing, but that was her little morning ritual.
Even the stretching out of her body.
Stretching out
that's,
the body.
I'm getting like, that's the life force energy coming.
Yeah.
Like, do you know, so
I always say she had that natural ability about her, that she had such a positive mindset.
Yeah.
But unawares to herself, like, God, jeez, I love her.
She's amazing.
I know, she was.
She is amazing.
I know. But yeah, so the nanny mantra, that era of people, they just, I feel they had it all in their brains, and they are probably the best generation that you'll ever come across. And I just want to keep that alive. So that's why I love to share nanny mantras. So with that being said, have you got any?
I have, but it's not a nanny mantra, it's a mammy mantra from Mammy Sandy.
Yeah.
So her, she always told me, you can have anything you want in your life if you put your mind to it. But that was something maybe she didn't do for herself, but she always wanted me to know that I can do whatever I want.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And that's what you do, isn't it? You project whatever you can, any goodness that you know onto your children. So thanks for that, Sandy.
Yeah, thanks, Sandy, for that.
And thank you for today. I love talking to you as always.
Thank you for having me, and I loved our little chat.
Me too. I will be here again next week if you're nosy enough.
Do you think you can handle it? Do you think you could? Do you think you could handle it?